Hi everybody, welcome to my Facebook Live vlog for this week. Today I want to talk to you about 6 simple steps to develop a positive attitude. Now it's interesting because I was reading something by a guy called Shawn Achor, and just some pieces out of his book called Before Happiness. And it really made me think, this guy thinks so much the way that I do, and I thought there's nothing better than third-party validation. And by that I mean, I could tell you something, but when someone else says the same thing, it actually validates in your mind that it must be true because there's someone else who says it as well. So rather than give you my views on the steps to a positive attitude, I thought that I would give you Shawn Achor's slant on it, as I said, because it's so similar to mine. And I'm coming to you today from my beautiful car as a backdrop. And firstly, step number 1 is tell yourself that you can change. Okay, that's so important, because happiness is not a belief that you need to change, but that you can change. And it's the relationship between change and personal growth that I'd like you to just consider. So write down the 3 greatest moments in your life that have brought you to being the person that you like today. And hopefully you like yourself. 3 major things that happened in your life. Now it may be really obvious, like moving to another city, or it may be something really personal, just sometime when you met with your best friend. But the thing is, once you've written this, hang it above your desk or in your bathroom, wherever it is that works for you, and use that and look at it to remind you so that you can actually stay positive. Okay? Number 2, go someplace else. Now this is something that I use often. When I find that life's just becoming a bit of a drudgery, maybe you're sitting in front of your computer doing something, you're working on a project, or you're trying to write something down, and you just seem to get stuck. Physically get up and go somewhere else. Walk out of the room, go outside, breathe fresh air. Because research shows that it changes your perspective because you're physically changing your perspective. And that new environment just helps to kick off different energies and makes you look at things so differently. There was a study done on Yale medical students, and they were sent to study ancient paintings at a local art museum. And when they came back, they found that they had a 10% increase in their ability to retain medical details. But the students who didn't do it didn't get the same increase. See, by training their brains to have a look at more vantage points, to broaden their perspective, it actually gave them a broader and deeper perspective on what they were already working on. Okay, so as I said, physically go to another place. Let's just get up out of your chair, move out of the room, and go somewhere else. Number 3, okay, refuel and re-energize. We all know that when you're tired and you're hungry, it doesn't make you happy. And it may be more damaging than you think. So what happens is your brain interprets lack of sleep as an attack on your nervous system. And what this does is this can cloud your judgment. So being fed and sleeping correctly are very, very important to enable you to maintain that positive attitude and to claim that positive attitude. So the other thing is that it actually can affect how many positive words you can actually see in a day. Studies have shown this, because it can make you overly focus on the negative. Okay, so there's a study done by the Columbia Business School with judges, and they discovered that before lunch, judges only gave parole to 20% of the people who came in front of them, and after lunch they gave parole to 60%. So obviously making sure you're fed well is a very important part of a positive attitude. And if you find that you're cranky or you're just not happy continually, have a look at your diet and have a look at your sleep patterns. Okay, all right. Number 4, identify both the positive and the negative. Okay, because no matter how bleak a situation is, there's always a silver lining. Or as I like to say, there's a lemonade in every lemon. So, but sometimes you've got to squeeze that lemon hard to find where that lemonade. But it is up to us to find it. So everything you're in, every situation, look for the positive in the event, okay? But I want you to try a little exercise. 30 seconds, when you're doing something that seems negative, look at the positive and the negative. Write out a list of how many positives and negatives you can see. And for every positive, get 3 points, and every negative, get 1. Now you might ask, why would you actually do that with the negative? Well, if you're looking for the negative, and you maintain a positive attitude, those negative aspects can actually help you to take action. So there's nothing wrong with identifying it. It's whether you get caught up in it. That's the key. Number 5, talk to the right people for support. If you talk to like-minded people all the time, you're not going to get other viewpoints. And what happens is, and you may have been through it, you'll see other people do it, where people bicker and gossip and carry on because they're like-minded, and they get caught up in this non-stop cycle of this gossip and this negative talk. And that is not good. So a good thing to do is go and look for people who are different to you. And Acor actually suggests, with big decisions, use what he called a 3-person reality check. So what you do is you look for someone with a different personality, someone of a different economic status, and someone of a different age group. So just try that. Okay, number 6. So where is it? Number 6 is channel your stress, because you know what? Everyone thinks stress is bad for you, but that's not necessarily true, because the hormones released during stress can actually help boost memory and your reasoning ability. It's whether it gets out of control. So teach yourself to think about the positive aspects of stress, and when you're under stress, look for these positive aspects, because they can actually improve your physical and mental health. There was a study done where managers were trained to recognize the upside of stress, and the managers who were in this reported that they had a 23% drop in physical things like headaches, back pain, fatigue. Very interesting. So when you're overwhelmed, pinpoint the real reason. You might be going to do a presentation, and it may not be standing up in front of people that's scaring you. It might be one particular person in that audience that scares you. So focus on being able to be confident and do the presentation well. Find out the real reason for why you feel overwhelmed. And let me finish off with this, because to have a positive attitude, you need to feel happy, right? And some people might think you're nuts, and it doesn't matter. You just have to be yourself, be happy, follow these steps to get there. And remember, one day when someone told me I lived in a fantasy world, well, I nearly fell off my unicorn. Bye all. See you next time.